Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Yurko here, and we're going to take a few moments today to talk about producing a drawing from your CAD models so that you can build the products that you want to build. Here you can see I've got my little Yoda snowflake, and this is what I think it's going to look like. I mean, I've got it here, but it's kind of hard to get an idea for scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you something new that we haven't played with before, and that's called a drawing. A drawing is a printed out version of your CAD model. It shows the outline of your object. It has dimensions, or you can add dimensions. It shows you relative to other things. So for example, this I have it printed on a sheet of regular 8.5 by 11 paper. So I can get a look at this and know how big it is. By adding dimensions, I can get specific measurements, and I can realize, hey, wait a minute, 4 inches in diameter, that's really big, and this ornament that I designed here, while it looks pretty cool, and I like the proportions, I'm probably going to want to scale it down a little bit. So this drawing helps me with that. This drawing also helps me whenever it comes time to build it, and once I've settled in on design, this drawing allows me to have a printed copy next to my workstation when I'm trying to make my part, and it allows me to have quick reference for everything I need. I can use this to cut patterns out. I can glue the paper to my piece of wood or metal or plastic that I'm going to be cutting, and then cut out from it. And the great thing about it being made in CAD as opposed to being drawn by hand is that I can print as many copies as I need. So if I want to make repeated parts, or if I want to destroy the drawing in the process, which is not uncommon, you'll frequently see people print drawings out, glue them to a piece of material, and then saw right through the drawing. It's a really useful process. So to make one of these, it's really quite simple. Hit the plus sign down here, and you choose Create Drawing, and then you pick a template. Now, for our purposes, today we're just gonna grab the IED template. You can choose the ANSI A template. A is the size of printer paper, standard 8.5 by 11 printer paper. But I'm gonna go ahead and use my IED drawing template that I made for myself earlier. You can use A or anything you want. But A is regular standard size printer paper. I'm gonna click open on that. It'll take a few moments to load up, but here's my drawing paper, and you can see right off the bat there are drawings that parts that I can choose from. So I've got the finial, I've got the bulb and the various components, I've got my snowflake. So let's go ahead and bring this snowflake in. So there's the snowflake, and I'm going to set the scale. This is an important component. If you don't set the scale, then you don't know how big it is. So at 1:1 is full size, and the first view that's going to get placed wherever I place it is going to be the front view as it appears in the modeling window. So if I come back to the other snowflake, when I click the front view, and there's the front view. So this is the view that's going to pop in the drawing first. So that's going to be the first view that pops in. And then it'll take a second to load up. And then if I move the mouse, I can place another view somewhere to the side or above or in 3D space. So if I were to come down here and oops, made a mistake there. So I'm going to hit Control Z Control Z is the undo button. So if you make a mistake, just do that. So insert our view, pick the drawing I want, take Yoda, place it, and I'll go projected view. auxiliary view, and there it is. So auxiliary view is what, or not auxiliary view, projected view gets me views off to the side. So here is my snowflake. I've got it shown here in the front view, the right view, and then I've got an isometric view here. I can see how big everything is if I want to go ahead and apply dimensions to put measurements on it. I can now know how tall this thing is, how wide it is, and how thick it is. And there you have it. It can be exported to a PDF file so it can be printed. So to export it, just right click on the name. Of course, let's rename that. We'll call that Yoda drawing. And then I can right click to export that and make it a PDF so I can print it. Just hit the export button and that'll download and that can be printed. It'll take a few seconds and there it is downloaded. Open that up. And if your computer is hooked up to a printer, you can print that. If your computer's not hooked up to a printer, you can email that to somebody who does have a printer accessible to print for you. All right, so that's all there is to it. Go ahead and do your best to build the model that you want to build. And as always, keep being awesome.